while you're here.
And then he might run it again.
Yeah.
It's still perfect both times.
You do it twice.
I'll call this meeting of the Harriman City Council, May the 7th, 2024 to order. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by our city manager, Mr. Scott Mason, followed by the pledge allegiance to the flag. Mr. Mason.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day and all the blessings you've given us. We ask that you watch over and guide us as we conduct as we conduct the business of this city. And we ask that you be with our leaders, not only here locally, but at the state and at the national level. We ask that you watch over and protect and guide our families and all that we do. And we ask this in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Alicia Harris.
Here.
John Brackett.
Here.
Travis Kirkland. Kenyon Me.
Here. I declare a quorum. Motion to approve the minutes of the April 17, 2024 meeting. I'll make the motion. Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Johnson. No, sir. Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes. Motion carries. Motion to pay the salaries. Motion. Motion by Councilman Harris. Second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Harris? Yes. Councilman Brackett?
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes. Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills. Motion by Councilman Frost. Second by Councilman Johnson. Councilman Frost?
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson? No, sir. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes. Motion carries. This time we're here for delegation. If you'd like to address this council, please come up to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
I'm Luciana Lewis, and I have some property that I'm wanting to get zoned from commercial to residential. It's the old Courts of Praise Church of God building, and it's across the street from Riverfront Park. And we have a veterans family wanting to live in, and so we went through one board and they passed it, so now we're hoping that it will be passed on this one.
Okay. It's not on the agenda for tonight. It has to be run in the paper for 15 days prior to our meeting. It is in the paper, went in the paper last Wednesday. So as soon as it will be on our next agenda,
Okay.
the next, which is 2 weeks from tonight.
Okay.
It'll be on that agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barry Paulson with Darkers Entertainment. We produce the Tennessee Pirate Fest. That's coming up opening May 18th. So everyone has just a briefing and then 2 free tickets. So we hope that you all will come and bring friends and family. So this year it's $16.79 in Port Royal in Jamaica. Captain Morgan is the governor, and Lord Carberry is challenging him for the governorship. This is historically accurate, but then from there it's all theater. So, as you all know, my husband passed in November, but we'll continue to honor him by moving forward. And appreciate everyone's help. The Roman tourism gave us money because we do the same kind of thing as they do as far as bring people to Rome County. And we're partnering with the UT bookstore and giving them a buy one get one to get the UT students here. So that's pretty exciting.
That's good.
I know Donna has contacted Scott Mason as far as up the road, and I'm not sure.
We'll get it great.
Okay, great. That'd be great. Otherwise, we'll have to find time for that. So anyway, we just appreciate the opportunity to do this, and this is our 8th Pirate Fest and our 18th festival, multi-day festival here in Harriman. So does anybody have any questions?
Just glad you're here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Love you guys. See you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
City Lamb, Justin Snow, President, CEO of the Run Alliance. I'll start by saying I just want to I really appreciate the City of Harriman support, partnership. There's a lot of good things going on in the county. There's a lot of good things going on at the Run Alliance. And with the vision and the leadership of the mayor and the city manager of the city council, there's some pretty special things going on in the city of Harriman too. So just want to tell you I appreciate your support and partnership. So tonight, I just want to briefly share, I brought with me tonight the Run Alliance annual report and the City of Harriman's return on investment with the Run Alliance. I'll start with the annual report. And I can't go through the whole thing. So take time later to go through the annual report. It shows the full body of work that the Run Alliance does, not only industrial recruitment, but the Chamber of Commerce, tourism, education, and workforce development. Just a few notes inside on the front cover from the President's letter. I do want to say in 2023, the Run Alliance experienced a transformational shift in the way that we engage with our community and members. And when I first took over the president role at the Run Alliance, I challenged the team to do everything that we do with great effort and a good attitude, be visible, responsive, transformational, and intentional in everything that we do. And I challenge them to do new things and don't be afraid to make mistakes. So I'm trying to build a culture, and hopefully you guys have been able to see that over the past year, year and a half. A lot of new events in the county in 2023. On August 1st, we celebrated the first ever countywide National Night Out. And there were other exciting developments and events in 2023. I know in the city of Rockwood, there was the launch of the Rockwood Marina and RV Resort, St. Croix Bassmaster Fishing Tournament in Kingston, and there were some firsts with the city of Harriman. We had the first ever Taste of the Holidays, and we brought back Rockin' on Our Own, and then we had the first ever Rockin' New Year's Eve party. The year was highlighted with the announcement of Malibu Moats. It was the largest job announcement in the county's history. 770 jobs, $75 million investment. So I'm not going to share all the details of the report. I just encourage you to take time to look through it. I'll answer any questions that you guys have right now. Any questions? Briefly on the return on investment report for the City of Harriman. This is for fiscal year 2023. So that covers the time frame of July of 2022 through the end of June of 2023. So it's a full fiscal year. But it shows the money that's spent on marketing, promotions, events, and attraction efforts to help bring people to or benefit the City of Harriman. And you can see the list of expenditures that we use for billboard advertising, sponsorships, various marketing efforts. I mentioned, one of the goals of our organization is to create job opportunities. We do that with Malibu. We also support and involve in many different events that we help sponsor, promote, such as Rockin' on Our Own and Hooray for Harriman. We support businesses of the month in the City of Harriman, along with various ribbon cuttings. And then we lead or support education matters initiatives such as, we just had in April the annual career day at Harriman High School for middle and high school students. So another great successful event. So that concludes my report on the return on investment report. I'll answer any questions that you guys have.
Y'all been busy. But you all have been doing a great job since you've been in office, and I know it's not just you, it's the people that are around you. So, great job as far as I'm concerned, for the entire country.
Well, we tried to change the culture, and there's a lot of momentum in the county, and we're a lot better when we pull together.
That's right.
And I think we're doing that better right now than we have any time in the recent past. And I like the direction we're going, and I just want to say thank you for your support and partnership. If there's anything that I can do or our team can do, just feel free to reach out. We want to help.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Justin, you do have some really good people around you too. I think some excellent people, and you do a great job. It's very noticeable.
Yeah, I'm very blessed with, I've got a great team around me. And they get up, come to work every day and do those attributes I talk about. Because if you do those things every day, it makes a difference.
It does.
And that's what they do.
It certainly does.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, this time we're going to reports. Harriman Utility Board.
Hey, Ken.
Right. Applications are now being accepted for HUD and TBA's Home Uplift Program. So if you know any lower income owner-occupied households that might be interested in this program, I encourage them to go to our website and apply. It's a really simple application. We'll randomly select 3 winners on May 31st, so the deadline to apply is May 30th. The winners' names will be sent over to TBA, and one of their contractors would actually go into the home and do an energy evaluation to determine what are the best ways to improve that customer's household energy use, which could be, new windows, doors, insulation, HVAC, any of those type of activities. And they also try to make the house a little bit safer in terms of air quality if they can. So please spread the word. It's a really good chance of winning. It's not that many people apply, but it's a fantastic program, and it's absolutely zero cost to the homeowner. There's no cost to apply. There's no cost to go through the program, and they make it very easy.
How many applied last year? Do you remember right off the top of your head?
We had probably less than 100.
Okay.
So I'll give you a little broadband update. I'll do this every month that I can. We do have a meeting with CBA tomorrow, and I'm hoping that's the final discussion before we get our approval letter from them. It's been taking a lot longer than we were expecting. They said they just have a couple more questions they want to ask to us as the owner rather than to our consultant, so I think that's a good sign. In the meantime, HUD has been visiting other cities that are implementing fiber broadband to the home right now. We've spent a lot of time a couple weeks ago with Lenore City Utility Board, and I just want to give them a shout out because they were super open and honest about their experience. They gave us good, bad, and ugly, and really gave us a lot of great advice for how to be successful. And then a couple days ago, we were in Cleveland and heard about their program. They are several months behind Lenore City, of course. They haven't been able to hook up any customers yet. We learned a lot from them as well. So really appreciate those systems. It's definitely a benefit of public powers. We can share our knowledge with each other.
That's good.
Let's see. Going on to some other projects. We just got approval today from TDEC to advertise one of our projects for bid. This is the ARPA TDEC funded sewer system improvements project. So this one is the project that's the Harriman Help Us Fund, and it will be sewer system work inside the city of Harriman. So I'll get you a map of that later because it's really hard to describe the locations because it's a little spotty, but generally it's the older parts of the town, kind of on that side over on the street. You may have noticed, I think I mentioned this last month, Pine Ridge Road is under construction now. I don't know if they've actually moved any dirt, but it should be very soon. You can see if you're driving from Midtown back into Harriman. Along the right side of the road, you'll see some stakes in the ground. That's the route of the new sewer line that will serve the property that we will annex and the property right across the street from there. So we're excited about that project. It should be finished by the end of the calendar year. The sewer pipeline will begin first, and then the sewer pump station will probably begin around August this year. HB continues to stay engaged at the Emery Creek subdivision. They're very excited about everything going on out there, but it is a lot of work. Our crews have been installing the electric and some fiber lines out there, and then their contractor has been installing the water and sewer service that HB will later take ownership of. We do have a kickoff meeting tomorrow on the construction of the sewer pump station, which, as you will know, you'll help us fund that as well. I'm excited to get that thing going. That will serve the development. Thank you, City of Harriman, for April 10th, Utility and Safety Expo. That was a fantastic partnership between HEB and the city. Brought in a lot of people from out of town. Hopefully, we'll definitely do this again next year. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better weather, because I think our numbers will be up a lot. But the vendors were very tickled with the Riverfront Park. They really liked the location. It was easy for them to be in and out of, and it just was a nice facility. They really liked it. Our annual report, it's a little late, but it is available now. It's online. I haven't got it printed yet, but I hope you'll take a time to browse through there. It talks about a lot of the things that I share with you in this 5-minute update, but in a lot more detail. And then lastly, I just want to mention, because we've worked so much on it this month, HEB is applying for a Department of Energy Grid Resilience and Innovations Partnership Program funding. We're going after a little over $13 million. And what we hope to do with that money is to install fiber and smart grid technology. And this could actually improve our customer outages by up to 70%. And that's not a number that we just made up. That is actually what we've seen our local power company friends in Clinton and Chattanooga achieve using basically the same strategy. If we're not able to get the DOE grant, then we won't give up on that dream of becoming a smart grid. It'll just happen a little bit longer. We'll hopefully roll out our broadband project, which will put all the fiber out there, and then we'll add those smart grid devices a little at a time. But of course, the grant would fund those all in one swoop, so we'd really like to get that. Any questions?
Sounds good. Everything you went over. Thank you, Candace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Council members, I'm happy to report that we started the audit last week for the fiscal year 2022, and it went very smoothly. Of course, those are just the first 2 days of the audit, and they may come back for one additional day, but the fact that they were able to stay and only need to stay for a couple of days really spoke well for the preparation leading up to the audit and everything that was done then. I want to thank Teresa, who was put really on the spot the entire time. Anytime that we have new auditors, it's their responsibility to learn inside and out our system and processes in order to be able to give us a proper audit. And really, Teresa deserves recognition because she was really kind of put under the microscope. And I'm happy to say that they had very, very good things to say about the work that she had done. So I wanted to mention that. Scott also did a great job in Keita's absence with the grants as well. So, and Natasha, I can't leave Natasha out. She had a big role as well with reconciliation. So, a couple other things I want to mention, and that is that you have everything here in front of you, of course, and we are on track as far as our revenues are concerned. I mentioned last time that we were actually significantly under in the major departments, and what I mean by major departments are the ones that have the largest budgets. So we're talking about the street department, police, and fire, and we're significantly under budget on all those expenditures, which is great. And of course, I attribute that a lot to Scott's regular meetings with our department heads and our department heads themselves being very cognizant of their expenditures. I also included this time in your report the list of revenues. Of course, the revenues pages are much, much more brief. The sources of revenues are much shorter than what we have as far as expenditures. I do want to point one thing out, though, and I was hesitant to provide you with this report because some expenditures come at the very last moment of the fiscal year. We will literally receive a few $100,000 in the last week, and that's typically because of how state share revenue gets distributed. So I do want to mention that if you see something that's significantly under what we budgeted, that's really no reason for concern. We just haven't received those revenues yet as far as when they're normally supposed to be received. Lastly, I'll say that the revenues across all major sources, which are property taxes, occupancy tax, and of course local option sales tax, are all up versus last year. So it's a good situation, of course, as I mentioned last week, to have higher than expected revenues and lower than expected expenditures. And that's my report. I'd happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, for your assistance and Natasha and her absence. She's getting embarrassed, but we appreciate what you do.
Yes, we do.
I heard that Scott really just brought sandwiches. Is that not right, Chris? I don't think you provided any else.
You know what? I like to give Scott credit when he doesn't deserve it sometimes. Scott did a great job.
I like the way you put that. Honestly.
City Attorney, Mr. Collins.
It's been a very busy month for your city attorney and his firm, doing the work of the city. About everything you see on the agenda tonight, most of, I guess, what you see on the agenda tonight, we have touched upon one way or another. The very last item in particular, and we may get into that in a little more detail as we go through the meeting and maybe even talk about some things in the workshop. Delinquent taxes for 2022 tax year have been filed. They are being served. We mail all of those out of county, and we have personal service of a deputy to serve within Rome County. So the tax man cometh and may be delivering a package to whoever is delinquent in 2022 to their home address. Let's see, what else? I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Owings, Wilson & Coleman have leased a space here in Harriman to have a downtown Harriman office.
That's great.
So we will be across from HUB at 229 North Rome Street. So at first we'll be taking folks by appointment. I have an appointment with someone tomorrow night already. So we're excited about that.
Great.
And we'll have a grand opening maybe in about a month, and hope everyone can come. Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
We're very excited.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Collins?
Thank you.
City manager. That one's pretty quick.
He would. It's going to be long. It's going to be long there. He's going to talk, and talk.
I like him glasses.
Yeah, those new Scott.
got only one.
I think actually that.
Don't be embarrassed.
Chris is right. He's too quick to give me credit because he mentioned with grants. Keita was on vacation last week, but we were more prepared this year, and I think just better prepared for going through our audit. And I think this is year we flip and get everything back on the correct time frame. We're going to have a budget hopefully ready to roll by July 1st for you all, but I've got to send kudos to everybody. Chris mentioned it. When Chris told me I need to go get the stuff for grants, I texted Keita when we were at the beach. She said they're already on my desk. I walked in and literally picked up the grants, took them in the audit room and set them down. That's all I did in all honesty.
Thank you, Keita.
And before you give Teresa too much credit, the stack of the 2 boxes of paper that you have in front of you, Teresa was scolding me this afternoon because everything I printed for y'all was front and back. I was trying to save late in the fiscal year, and Teresa went through 2 boxes of paper. So we're really honored, before we get rolling too much, and I'll make it very brief, but we have Melinda Bertram here in the audience today. She really wanted to get up here and sing Loretta Lynn because she does a fantastic job. But Loretta is Melinda is participating in a fundraiser for the free medical clinic, and everybody knows Melinda. She's at all of our city events. One, because she wants to be there, but just like Justin was talking about, the Alliance does a great job. But Melinda is the chair of our ambassadors, which we're creating solely to support the initiatives through the chamber. So Melinda is going to be doing a fundraiser to help raise funds for the free medical clinic, and that's on June 7th. So I will scan this and get this to you. And if I get done quickly enough, we'll have her come up and sing. She was dying to do that.
She can sing.
She's
You know,
kidding.
I think we set an all-time record at our last council meeting, so I'm just going to touch on just a couple of things, and these are in your packet. I'll send these out to all of our local officials and everybody who gets our direction. But I want to give you an update very quickly. If you live close to Martin Road, Bell Road, or Bayou Steel, this month Norfolk Southern is going to be doing some work around those railroad crossings. It should not create any problems, but just bringing those up to speed and repaving some of those areas. We did have a meeting with the Deputy Governor and Senator Yeager here earlier this week.
Last Friday.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, earlier this week. I'm going to get my dates. Anyway, it was a really good meeting, but the whole idea was to make sure we get Road Street paved. You know, it's been over 25 years, so not only the Deputy Governor assured us, but he took some questions about some other concerns we had. But right now on schedule is a June 21st letting, so that's when they'll open the bids. He said we should have an engineer on site in July, late July, look at everything, and hopefully get paving sooner rather than later. So we're going to continue to call each week and make sure that takes place so that we don't get skipped over.
Yeah, City Manager, I was sitting here listening when he said that, and so you have late August or early September. Is that going to run into our hooray for Harriman? That was my concern.
If it does, it won't be any problem. We've already thought about that. What we did hear from TDOT, it possibly would be late September, 1st of October before they actually do the paving.
Okay. Thank you.
If you've not been up to the golf course, our cart path has been repaired and made. Councilman Johnson and I went around and looked at that, and we've done a lot of repairs up there. And this coming Tuesday, we'll have our pickleball court ribbon cutting, and that will be at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'll send y'all a reminder about that. You know, I had a chance. We're still doing some touch-up down there. I met with Heath Lewis down there today, look at the lighting. We need to put the nets together, but I think as soon as we cut that ribbon, that's going to be a very, very busy place, and something to be very proud of. Our library report, they've received the computers that they ordered through the state of Tennessee, their tech grant. The other monitor they're going to have to purchase without grant money, which is not a big deal. We're just excited to have the new computers. State IT person will be here soon to set those up. They have been, as you all know, and Tammy reported, they have been transferring all their microfilm to digital, and I wasn't aware of this, but 16 of the oldest Harriman record newspapers have been transferred, and they actually have 5 of the oldest Rowan County News already completed. So that's exciting. You can go in there. It's a whole lot easier to go through our old newspapers. We did get 3 new bookcases. That was approved back in, I think, January. Due to the flooding, those down in the children's area had to be replaced. So those should be installed the next 2 weeks and should match everything else that we have downstairs. Quarterly report reflected they had a circulation of 6,259 for the quarter. Tammy says that's about on par. It's just a little lower, but just close enough to call it just dead even. And then everybody's excited about the May 22nd start of our summer reading program in our children's library. It's fully scheduled. We've sent you all that, and we've got it on our website, I think on our Facebook page, but they have some fantastic activities planned. It's always well attended. If it fits your schedule, come out because it's always an exciting time. We do have some pictures here, and I just thought these were really good from our children's program. If you look at these, all the age of kids in there taking advantage of what our library and our city has to offer. And some of these were from the eclipse that we had a big crowd out there, but also some of the activities surrounding that. So, Tammy, is there anything you want to add to the library report? I am pleased to announce she's hit the ground running. Jennifer, where are you, Jennifer? Jennifer Turner, stand up. Come on up front.
Yeah, we got to get it on camera.
Jennifer hit the ground running about 2 weeks ago. She's our new event coordinator and did a fantastic job with our May Day. The weather didn't really cooperate, but we made do with it, and very proud and did a great job. She's already working. Even her first 2 days here, I would go to her and I said, hey, you need it, and it's already been done. And you need to do this, and it's already been done. So we're looking for an exciting joint venture with Jennifer as we move forward, get ready for summer. And I said the big challenge will be our hooray for Harriman. And I had mentioned to her it could possibly be paved at the time. So we'll see if we have to cross that. But one thing that we're going to be starting, and she's got ideas. That's why I had to come up here. We talked with the chamber and Dawn about how can we revitalize our Rockin' on Rum. So Jennifer is going to rebrand that, and she'll let y'all know at the next meeting or maybe a month from now. But it's going to be themed, so it might be country Rockin' on Rum.
This time, the third Thursday for June is going to be Throwback Thursday. So we have 70s, 80s, 90s. So everybody will remember that theme. Don't remember to come, but we'll have a DJ. You know, have a kids area and things like that. And I think country or Jimmy Buffett will be in July.
And what we'll do, we'll encourage our downtown merchants on Throwback, that whole week leading up to it, get involved in those decades, and hopefully just bring in just a larger event. So I think you're going to see her touches already. Go ahead, Jennifer. I see you looking at something.
That's it. That's all I got that's coming up. We have a wiffle ball tournament June 1st. It's at River Park. That just went out today, though.
And it's backed by popular demand. Matt and Casey Hill, who run our website, if you recall, last year during the winter, they ran about a 6-week program that was asking our downtown merchants or anybody who owned a business to help. How can they use social media to promote their marketing? And well attended. Our training room was jam-packed. And so they want to do that again on a smaller version. It's going to be focused more on creating a website for your business. And that's going to take place on Tuesday, July 23rd and Thursday, July 25th. And we will get more information out. But that will be open. It's free of charge and getting put on by Matt and Casey Hill. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Our master comprehensive plan, I was in touch with Evan Sanders. We should get that in the middle of the month. It'll be a draft version, something we've been working on for a year and a half, 2 years. As soon as I get that, I'll get y'all copies of that. I talked with the public entity partners at our insurance agency as we're working on the budget. We expect to receive a refund, a rebate, an overpayment of, how you want to look at it, about $21,000. We'll receive $17,000 back for workers' comp and $3,500 for our liability. One thing we've also talked about, and we'd like to organize, I've got to get with Jen, possibly before we get into the month of the second half of June, maybe looking at hosting maybe a town hall meeting to invite people. What would you like to see plans for Harriman in the next year to 3 years, and hopefully we can coincide have a comprehensive plan. And while we did have public input for that, but maybe have something here just to give us ideas, not only as employees, but as city council, about what we can be planning for in the near future and in the next 3 to 5 years. So I'll get with Jen and we'll announce that. I've met with Mr. Gagnon several times about a paper mill site. EPA is still wanting one more water test done on that site before they fully turn it over to us, so I'll keep you updated on that. That should happen at any time. If you've been down there by exit 347, yesterday there were no street lights up. I think today they had 8 street lights. They've already poured the foundation for the high mast lights, so that's moving along at a great click, and that's going to be just a great addition for everybody traveling, for safety, for our businesses in that area. We have a meeting scheduled on May the 9th with Sarah McCoyne about our health insurance, what that's going to look like, who we want to recommend to the council, which group we want to go for moving forward into our next fiscal year. That'll be at 2 o'clock, so you're certainly invited to that. We'll have that in our conference room. Thank you. Our conference room. Personnel committee meeting is going to be on May 17th. That'll be at 10 in the morning. We'll also meet in the conference room. That'll be looking at just some suggestions we can possibly look into our personnel manual and also discuss employee raises and take a little closer look at our budget as we get it prepared for you all to have a draft. We're very proud. Jess Rittenhouse and Barron Tapp, our police chief, are going to represent Harriman this next week when they go to Washington, D.C. for the Fallen Officers Memorial. And that's where they take the whole week in Washington, D.C. to honor all of our fallen police officers in line of duty. So remember, they do that as a fundraiser separate of the city, and they fund that and take part in all those activities and represent Harriman in a very professional and respectful way. Something I'd like to, I met with Barron today, and if you recall, several weeks ago, we had a joint effort with the TBI, the FBI, Roe County Sheriff's Department, Rockwood Police Department, Harriman Police Department, and they went out and conducted several raids on houses, not only in Harriman, but throughout the county. And that took place in February. And what we've looked at the stats since then, there's been a 63% reduction in deaths due to drug overdose in our county. And since that time, we've had 0 in the city of Harriman. So certainly good numbers, reflects well on what our police department's doing, not only here in town, but working with our other agencies to address the drug problem that we all have.
That's good.
As Chris mentioned, our 23-24 budget projections, when we look at that, and we especially looked at it, because we know we got to get ready for that budget amendment, it's looking like entirely we're going to come in 10% under what we budgeted this year. And I know Chris always mentions, but our department heads have done a fantastic job keeping up with that on a daily basis. So hopefully our budget amendment will reflect that we came in well under our budget predictions. And that's what I wanted to mention, Teresa. You'll look, I gave you a packet, and it's on front and back right here. But all the colors mean what's under process, white we still got to get to. But as you look through that, I also shared it with you via email today. There's some questions out to the font, and there's descriptions on why something is. And you can go in there, open that, and type in questions on that document. I've had a couple of those from several of you, and I will respond right back. We work on this on a daily basis, but hopefully in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll have a budget, certainly by the 1st of June, draft budget for y'all to take a look at. But that's what's in your packet as well. You don't have plans Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Harriman High School has their graduation. That'll be in their gym. It takes place Saturday at 9. And sent y'all an email yesterday from Principal Chastity Lowry. She has invited each of you all to attend. So if you have plans, it's always a great ceremony. Harriman does a great job of that. It's an exciting day for those seniors and for the faculty. And that's my report, unless you have any questions.
Do you know when they're going to be opening the splash pad? I've been getting a lot of calls about that.
Yeah, preparations were made, and as soon as Charlie gets back, we're shooting for the last day of school. That's usually a half day. Harriman Middle School goes up there. So I think it's May 17th is our goal date to have that splash pad. We've already received the chemicals. They already got the system up and running, just working out the keys.
Okay, no.
Anything else? Next, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This time we're going to do business. First item, discuss and possibly approve the surplus of the following items. Dell computer monitor, serial number 3CR8271912. Card reader, serial number 283695218. Cash register, serial number 5205520. This will be surplus off. Motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0524/01, a resolution recognizing the city of Harriman's need to continue recreational facilities and supporting the application for the 2024 LPRF grant. Motion to approve.
Motion on that?
Motion by Councilman Brackett, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Frost. Councilman Brackett. Councilman Frost. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0524/02, a resolution authorizing municipal technical advisory services to codify and revise the city of Harriman's ordinances. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Is this all of them, or are we going for any specific one? We talked about the beer ordinance quite a bit, so I didn't know if that's what's driving.
Yeah, it'll be all of our ordinances and our codes. It takes about a year and a half to bring those. No changes will be made till we bring them before council. But yeah, you look through, I think the last time our ordinance were updated, and we do it every time we amend an ordinance each year, that goes in there, but some of them, talking with our attorneys and some of the issues we dealt with, it hadn't been updated, I think, since 1973. So it's a process they recommend you do about every 10 to 15 years. And this will be paid, the $7,300, it's based on our population, but that'll be spread over 2 fiscal years.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve Canon Group of Tennessee, INC CGT, for consulting services for the proposed Pine Ridge Road development. Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Johnson. Councilman Brackett.
Yes, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Next item, discuss and possibly approve Cannon and Cannon, Inc. to provide Harriman due diligence, master planning, and consulting of engineering services for the proposed Pine Ridge Road development for a fee of $20,500.
I'll make a motion on that.
Motion by Councilman Brackett. Second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Brackett.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
Can I just say one thing
Yes.
about these? So these two, there's an agreement or two that are involved here, and there's some indemnity language within those. I've worked with Canon and Canon many times in the past, and they will relieve that from those agreements. And so we're going to want to make sure that we get that done. So what you're approving tonight, if you approve this, it'll be subject to the city attorney's review and revision as far as those provisions go.
I have no problem with that.
But they've been very good to work with in the past.
You okay with that? Your second?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, John.
Floor is open for discussion. Call roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0524/03, a resolution of the city of Harriman, of the city council of the city of Harriman, Tennessee, to establish and appoint the Harriman Utility Board and or the city of Harriman as the sole and exclusive provider of municipal and utility services within the territory annexed by and into the city of Harriman pursuant to resolution R0424/03. Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Johnson. Councilman Brackett. Yes, sir. Floor is open for discussion.
Yeah, but is this basically when we do this, but annexed in a while, so usually when they get the plan of service, we don't typically do the resolution of anything. The plan of service stuff and everything.
You want to explain it?
Yeah, it's all included, and it's included with this resolution. So we've already done the annexation, and we've already approved the plan of services. Now what we're doing is, this is an additional step. So state law provides that at the very next meeting of city council, following the final adoption of the annexation ordinance, that city council can elect to have all of the services provided by a specific provider. That's what this does. It is your selection of the city and HUB to provide all of the utility services to that annexed property. So that's what this resolution does. And it incorporates, the annexation, it incorporates the plan of services, all of that. So it's all kind of wrapped up in this, but this is your selection of who is to provide all of the utility services to that location.
Okay, are we still dealing with just the one property that owns all this? Because it's in here that it lists, it sends the notices out to all the others that are included in this.
Yeah, it is really, I think it's only the one, it's Veteran Enterprises who owns all of these parcels. And I will say this, we may get into some discussion about it later, but there is a piece of property one of the pieces of property, there's a dispute over the boundaries of it that, we certainly want to have cleared up before we purchase the property. So that's a discussion for a little bit later. But all this is an election by our governing body, the city council, to select city and HUD to provide these services, all of the utility services to that property. That's all this does.
Okay, I just want to make sure the one that's requested us to do this is the only one involved and nobody else.
He is. All of these properties that are outlined here are all, I think there's, 4 properties. They're exactly the ones that are involved in the annexation. It's just those.
Okay.
Anything else, Council? Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris. John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
What we have on our agenda, we'll go on council remarks. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson. No, sir. Councilman Harris.
No, sir.
No, sir. Councilman Meade. No, sir. Have anything further? We've got a quick workshop to follow, but
I didn't mean to leave out, Barry Tidd was also going to be representing the city of Harriman at the Fallen Officers Week next week, along with Chief Tapp and Jeff Rittenhouse.
will we be back in time to get this going at the next meeting?
Yes.
If not, we'll make sure David's here.
Nothing else for this council.